Welcome to a very cold and very windy, even though it doesn't look like it, East Lane at Bawdsey in Suffolk. That is where I'm going to be fishing for cod. Up there is an old World War II 6-inch naval gun emplacement. Might have a look around that later if the fishing's a bit slow. It's low tide at the minute and the water is chocolatey as hell. It really is. It looks spot on for some fishing. Of course, I'm back here again on the Suffolk cod hunt, and this is my first cast. Gonna stick this one out. Razor, black lug and squid cocktail. And fish this up to around about 3 o'clock this afternoon, when this wind is meant to pick up absolutely mental. This wind is meant to get up to 50 miles an hour this afternoon. More or less when it switches to high tide is when that wind is meant to start picking up. So, just gonna fish up to then and see if we can get anything out. This is a renowned spot for codling. I think I just saw a seal. I bloody hope not, because I'm, as you would have seen in one of my other videos, I had some problems with seal up at Orford Ness. So I'm hoping there's no seals out there. Something big and black just rolled on the surface of the water. So we'll see. Ain't seen nothing else. But yeah, East Lane, Bawdsey. Heck of a venue. Absolutely amazing place to fish. Let's see if we can get something. Welcome, as I said in the intro, to East Lane at Bawdsey. Now this venue is very accessible by car. I've literally parked 30 seconds down there. You park in the car park, you walk up the hill past the emplacements, and you have this area to fish. You have to climb over a fence, and this area is very comfortable fishing. It is very, very nice. In the summer, this throws up some beautiful smooth hounds. You can get double figures off here if they turn up, of course. But this time of year, this was a good spot for those fabled fish, the unicorn of the sea, the codlin. It's a smallish tide today, but I've got some spare time on my hands. This was a place I really wanted to come to fish. And with the weather being the way it is, it's north-northwest, which means it's coming straight over the top of me. At the minute, I believe it's blowing about 20 miles an hour, even though it doesn't look like it, because I'm down and I'm protected from the wind. That water is absolutely chocolate. It really, really is. It is like a Cadbury's factory down there. It is brown as you like. Of course, that does mean we're probably going to get into some pouting and whiting, maybe. But there's always a chance here of one of those fish that I'm chasing. There really is. Now, up there further, you have East Lane Beach, which goes into Shingle Street. That is very clayey. That is a good spot for rays, good spot for hounds, good spot for everything, basically. This little area here can throw up anything you can think of. But I want to fish this spot. I haven't fished this spot for a long time, and I've had some great sessions here in the past. I really have. It's a good little spot for LRFing as well, because down there, you've got loads of rocks. You've got this sea wall. Down there, you've got loads of rocks. And then you've got a clay bottom that goes out there. It's really sticky, really clay bottom, which holds a lot of food and a lot of fish. What I'm fishing in here, I'll show you quickly, is like a little bay. Now that weather is absolutely fantastic. And if I just put you down there, that's the rocks. So bringing those baits in, I'm going to have to be very, very careful of where I'm reeling and have to lift them over the top and lift them up the wall. But once that tide starts flooding, the rocks get covered, it becomes a bit easier to fish. Now, bites today, looking for the classic slack liner, aren't we? You know, it is the way the rod's sitting in this clay, that lead will be stuck in nicely, you know, that will be stuck in that clay. Any fish that pops that out, that tip will just bam, bam, slack. Theoretically speaking. But who knows? It's one of them things. Like I say, it is a small tide. and the wind is meant to get up massively later. I think it's Storm Dara is on the way, and that's going to push those winds up to 50, 60 mile an hour tonight. And I think it's swinging round more to a southerly. So this will be absolutely insane to fish here later on. You'll have the waves crashing over. The wind will be cutting in from the sea. It will be unfishable. It will be dangerous more than anything. But at this moment in time, it's perfect. It blew up last night, hence why the sea is rather chocolatey. But that westerly is flattening it off on top. So you ain't going to have much of a splashback from the waves as they come in. All we've got to do is hope there's fish here. You know? I'm hedging my bets. I'm hedging my bets. Suffolk cod hunt, as you know so far, if you've watched the videos, add a couple of blanks, which we will do because this area is not great fishing. But I'm going to keep persevering. Blanks are blanks. It's a reality of fishing. You're out chasing a certain species. You are going to see blanks every now and then. Didn't even get a whiting on the last one, but there you go. There you go. That's going to be a nighttime venue I'm going to fish soon. But that's the first cast. It's sitting out lovely. I'm going to kick back, chill out, relax, keep an eye on this rod tip, follow me through the session and see what we can get out of it. It's now about 10 o'clock and the tide is flooding quite nicely. There's a bit of tide pull out there, considering it's a small tide, and there is also a bit of weed, which, to be honest with you, I was expecting because it's been blowing up quite nicely, so there is going to be a little bit of weed in the water. Just show you what I'm using quickly. Rod-wise today, M4 GT, Ziplex, probably one of the best rods ever made. Blue 7HT, mag, loaded up with 18-pound hardline. Shock, 80-pound shock leader, and to that I have a pulley pennel, 80-pound snood, 80-pound rig body, sorry, 20-pound snood, 6-ounce lead, and to that I also have a squid, razor, and frozen black lug cocktail. I'm not going to show you me making the baits up, mainly because the last video I did, I showed you how I did that. That was the one in the rough ground at Felixstowe. But it's very quiet so far, but to be honest with you, low tide is just going up. Not expecting anything till about 11 o'clock anyway, if I'm going to be totally honest. But it is lovely to be out. Absolutely beautiful day. But the fish aren't biting yet. Well, I say there is a bit of weed though, to be expected. And that tide run is pulling through. And when I say it's pulling through, it is pulling through quite nicely. Just brought the rod down a little bit lower because the wind is catching the line. That is pulling it more than what I hope. Tighten up to that lead, there we go. Keep that rod low, keep the wind off it. And there we go. It's probably about the third cast I've had. Like I say, I am expecting some fish, but with this weed in the water, that is pulling that rod tip round quite a lot. It's stable. Yeah, leave it like that. It's pulling the rod round quite a bit, but hopefully that will drop off. And with the tide flowing, flooding up, the water is chocolate, we're going to get into some fish sooner or later. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. But in the meanwhile, I'm just enjoying this December sun. It's such a nice day. It really, really is. Absolutely beautiful. There we go. I think it's probably getting on for around about 10 o'clock now. Like I say, maybe midday-ish we'll see some fish. And there's no sign of this storm coming yet. There's no clouds in the sky. The sun is beaming down. Yeah, the wind's whipping through, but down here, I'm nice and sheltered and away from it. Had a couple of little rattles so far. That's about it on the rod. It's still flooding. I think the time is coming up to around about 20 to 11, something like that. I just looked at. Come on, out you come. I think there's a lot of weed out there. That's either a lot of weed or it's a ray. I'm hedging my bets on weed. Oh, bloody hell, that's heavy. Yeah, that's a lot of weed out there. Nothing's kicking back at all on that, so I am saying weed. Which, like I say, was to be expected after the blow we had last night and the night before. Oh, that is heavy. But the winds still haven't changed. It's still absolutely beautiful weather. Weed on the lead or not. Where's the riggy rig? Blimmin' heck. That's a lot of weed. Pick that off. I don't want that dropping down too quickly in there. And just as I said, weed monster. Ugh. Right, okay. Hopefully it's just the start of that tide flood, and hopefully that weed will disappear, because that's clogging everything up. Horrible stuff. Well, there we go. Right, I'm going to get this de-weeded. I'll probably take you and go and have a little look at them gun emplacements quickly. Give it 20 minutes or so, and then put the next cast out. Baits are coming back untouched. Absolutely nothing's touching them. Just loads of weed. We can only but try. Right, something a bit different for you now. A little bit of a break in the fishing. Thought I'd show you what I'm fishing in front of. This is the East Lane Bawdsey gun emplacements. Now basically, around this area in the Napoleonic War, they built a load of Martello towers, which are dotted along here. Those were an early warning for the British forces. In World War II, they decided to build 2 6-inch naval gun emplacements here. These are what I'm fishing in front of. Now let's just go over and have a look at these. There's the remains of one. And if you look over there, there's the remains of another. And that there is the watchtower to which they would have stood up in and kept an eye across the sea. Now just imagine being a soldier in World War II in the middle of winter in and around these, eh? That would have been absolutely savage. You know, it would have been cold as anything. But if we come up the hill towards where I'm fishing, and if you look down there, that is where I'm fishing. And this is one of the gun emplacements. And that is where the 2 massive 6-inch turrets would have been sitting on top of here. You'd have had them round here, and those guns would have been poking out across here. Now those would have been some impressive guns to see. They really would. A lot of history around here. I don't think they were ever used in anger, but they were just here to keep us safe from the Germans. You can go in here and have a little look around. Wouldn't want to be in here at night. Look at that. Don't want to go down there. Never know what ghosties and ghoulies you might find. Yeah, no, I ain't going down there. But this, like I say, is what I'm fishing in front of. A lot of history. There would have been a lot of people's relatives and people based here as well. The old Bawdsey gun emplacements, eh? There we go, right. Back to the fishing. Back to watching motionless rod tips. You never know, we might well get one today. That sea is perfect for it, it really is. Just give you a quick look out across that. Look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Looks more right for a ray, but I've not had nothing yet. Like I say, tide's coming up. Weren't expecting anything till around about 11, 12 o'clock anyway. So keep the baits going out, keep fishing. Let's see what happens. I'm now filming on something a little bit different. I've had to go on my phone, and this is the reason why. Absolutely devastated. Had a bite, watching the rod tip, went over to the rod tip, heard a bang behind me, tripod fell over, GoPro smashed. Oh dear, devastating the word. So, rest of this video is going to be done on my phone. Might not be that great, but we will see how I can get around it. I've got to try and figure out if I can get a microphone plugged into my phone from the GoPro. If not, the sound might not be that great, but bear with me and we'll see what we can do. There I am, filming on the phone. Cheerfulness through the face of adversity, eh? Oh, I hope you can hear me. I really, really can. I've had a couple of bites on this cast. It's been rattling. That's the reason the GoPro went over, because I was paying attention. Because I was paying attention to the rod tip, and a gust of wind came, and unfortunately it went over. It is what it is. Try and find another one fairly cheap. I've got everything else, the GoPro itself. What an absolute nightmare. This is the channel we're starting to pick up as well. Hey ho, we crack on, we carry on. A little bit of weight here. What have we got? I reckon. Lots and lots of weed. We'll see. There's the leader knot, there's the weed around the leader knot. See if anything comes out. Don't go down there because that. I've got a fish! And that's the blank beaten. Yes, it's a whiting, but it's a blank beater. Thank goodness for that. There is some fish in the sea. It could be a sign that it's starting to pick up now the tide's flooding up. Oh, what a shame, what a shame, what a shame. I haven't got that GoPro going. Little tiny whiting. It's a blank beater, but like I say, it shows there's activity out there. It shows there's signs of fish, which is a bonus. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to fish on. Apologies again. I'm going to keep saying it for filming on this camera. Need to figure something out and figure something out to do. Get this GoPro fixed, or like I say, get another one. Right, he's going back. New bait going on, and we crack on. Good old YouTube, eh? Just typed in GoPro lens. Turns out they literally just twist off, and you can get a replacement for a tenner from eBay. So I bought a replacement, and I'm now filming without the lens cover on. Bit dodgy. Don't know how it's going to come out. I don't know if the lens actually does anything to it, but the sun's going away. It's got a lot hazier, so hopefully there's no UV or nothing shining through. Maybe that's what the lens is for. But for this session only, I'm back in the game without a lens cover on my GoPro, and we're fishing again. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty happy because I was expecting it was going to be over 100 to 200 quid for a new one or a replacement. But no, YouTube to the rescue yet again. Had a couple of rattles on this cast so far. Not really too much going on. There's been a big old dog seal working up and down the rocks to the left-hand side of me over there, but he hasn't come in the bay. Is that a good sign or a bad sign? Do not know. Is it because all the fish are in front of the rocks? Probably. Is it because there's hardly anything over here and you've got straggler whiting coming through here? Probably is. It probably is. But we're back in the game. We're back fishing. The GoPro's going and the video is going to go back to normal. Ignore those last couple of videos that were absolutely rubbish with the camera phone angled up on the seat box. And relax. It's about an hour before high tide and it has been pretty dire, to be honest with you. That rod tip is now rattling quite a bit. So I'm assuming there's a whiting on there. But apart from that, all I've seen is a big old dog seal. Keep going up and down. And not much else, to be honest with you. I don't even think whatever that was there is hooked. Oh my word. This is hard going. But it's the East Coast Suffolk cod hunt. Like I've explained in my videos, they are quite rare around here. They are hard to catch. There's going to be a few blanks. Obviously whiting as well. Do we class that as a blank? Probably. But apart from that, at least there's no weed. There is nothing on there at all. Apart from that, it's pretty dire. No pouting, no rays, and no codling. So, I'll get another bait out there and see if we can actually find a fish other than a whiting. It's tough. It's tough, don't get me wrong, but what a beautiful day. It is absolutely fantastic. There's a seal down there. A seal keep going up and down here because Orford Ness is probably, I don't know how many miles, I'm not going to say how many miles. It's a little bit over there. You can see it when you go around the corner, you can actually see Orford Ness. So the seals from there are obviously encroaching down here. It's getting worse and worse, it really is. Those seals are, I'd say, decimating everything around here. Road trips could be the way forward, but we'll see. I will be going on road trips soon. I've got a couple of ideas in my head. Speaking to someone the other day, said I'll go and fish with him somewhere down south. So that'll be a good video. But in the meantime, we carry on, we persevere, we see what happens in the Suffolk cod hunt. Well, what can I say? Apart from, this has been abysmal. It is what it is. I've got a mate who's fishing just round the corner over there, up on the cliffs, and he's just had a couple of doggies. He was saying exactly the same to me. They're fishing down here quite a bit, and there's no codling showing at all. We try, we come out, we do what we can do. It is what it is. This is going to be my last cast. Sending out another beautiful squid razor and black bait. Ebb's just started. Some people will say the ebb is the best time on here. Yeah, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Try and find a safe spot to cast, because a little while ago, that sea started kicking up and everything is now slippery as hell around here because that was washing over the top. Hence why I've moved all my stuff up there. Tentative little baby steps. I don't really want to bloody hurt myself. I'm going to cast this more that way because I think that ebb is pulling quite well. And like I say, last cast. Get this bait out there. And see if we can pick up anything on the start of this ebb. Very much doubt it. Whee, splash. But you never know. Oh dear. It is what it is. We knew this was going to be hard. We knew that cod fishing on the Suffolk coast is very, very hard. Well, not so much cod fishing because you're not, oh God, that ebb is pulling. It's not like you're up north where you go cod fishing. Down here, you're fishing for a bite, fishing for a cod, fishing for whatever comes in front of you. But my target, like I say, this winter in these videos is a cod. That's the last cast out. I'm going to give this 40 minutes. Yeah, that tide is pulling round quite nicely. Let that settle, give it about 40 minutes out there, and then I'm going to wrap this up. See if anything comes along. Had a couple of rattles on the last cast. Nothing came of it. No pouting, no doggies, just a whiting. But it's been nice. It's been a lovely day out. It is starting to chill now, and you can feel that wind starting to pick up a little tiny bit. Is a bit of wind coming through. come 6 o'clock tonight, it's meant to be 47 to 50 mile an hour around here, so wouldn't want to be here then. But there we go, last cast out. I'll come back to you in a little while, bring that last cast in, unless I have a fish on there, in which case it'll be sooner. Let's just hope this cast produces. And that is the end of that. This last cast been out now about 45 minutes. And I haven't even had a rattle. Oh my word. Tide pullers there. It's just no fish, which is absolutely rubbish. Apologise yet again. I mean, I know some people like watching these cod HUD videos because they're from the local area. They understand what is actually involved in trying to find a codling around here. However, those of you watching from more prolific areas are probably thinking, what on earth is he doing? But we'll get there. We'll get one. Oh, blimey. Weed on the leader knot. Not as much as on the flood though, which is good. But yeah, like I say, thank you for watching. Apologies yet again that we haven't caught many fish. It is what it is, like I say, around here, just fishing, whiting, doggies, pouting. Codling will turn up at some point though. I'm hedging my bets on the rough ground where my last video was. I think a nighttime session in there very soon could well see us get one. But there you go, end of another session. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it if you got this far. And if you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't actually cost a thing. It just helps the channel to grow a little bit, reach a wider audience. Right, well, anyway, that is me done. I'm going to pack up. I'm going to go home. Take away for dinner later on tonight, thinking a kebab or something like that. And cry into my dinner about the fact there's no codling on the Suffolk coast. Oh dear. Right, anyway, thank you very much for watching. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you by the water very soon.